Hey, hello, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've made one of these videos, so hello, welcome back. If you haven't been to my channel before, my name is Mar, and I love reading. That's the gist of it. For the past few weeks, I've been uploading my Asia Adventure Diaries, so just my travels in Asia, because I went to South Korea and Japan for a couple weeks in May and June. So we are getting to the ends of that trip and those vlogs. I primarily made those vlogs for me because I don't remember what I did on that trip. So it's been a surprise for both of us as to what I was up to during the summer. It's been a while since I've done a book vlog and all of that, and there are many reasons to that. One, again, trying to get those travel diaries out of the way. Number two is that I've put myself on a book buying ban. And number three is also I've been in a reading slump. So many factors as to why I haven't been making book vlogs. We are back and we are more ready than ever to get back into the swing of things. I wasn't allowed to buy books until I finished my physical TBR, at least my physical summer TBR. Some books I did move to my fall TBR because there are certain books where it's like, I know I'm going to eat this up in the fall seasons, but in the summer, I just have a very specific genre of just just chill romance books because that's all my brain will comprehend. We are going to the bookstore, grabbing some books. I did order some books online on Amazon yesterday just for funsies because I had that opportunity. There are very specific books that I am looking for at my bookstore. Without further ado, let's get started with this video. Also, I have a new mic in system for this video, or for now my future videos. Yes, I did place it on a plastic fork, and yes, I did put a photo card on it. It is my J-Hope BTS Memories 2019 photo card that is worth quite a bit of money if I were planning to sell it. No, I don't think anyone would want this photo card from me. Let's get going. It is currently 10:30 right now, so let's skirt to the bookstore. The weather is really confusing me right now because I think it's smoky outside, but it's also like sunny, but then like the sky's gray and like you can kind of see the smoke. Anyways, let's go book shopping. Can't remember which book I wanted to pick up, but I have three that I really wanted. So what book was it? I grabbed the books that I wanted. There's a DoorDash driver right beside me while I'm doing this. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Let's just pretend I'm looking at my receipt. So I bought 4 books. I got the 3 that I wanted. Could not remember for the life of me what the 4th one I wanted was, but whatever. I'm planning on coming back next week. I got Not in Love by Hazelwood. Then I got A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. I don't know how to say her name still. And then I got The Paradise Problem by Christina, and I was waiting for it to come on paperback because all the ones I saw were only hardcover. And then the last one, I kind of just left it up to chance. I was like, what seems like a fun summer book to read? And so I got the Rom-Commers by Katherine. What got me was like the sprayed edges. Like a lot of the books nowadays have sprayed edges. Like even like Anna Huang's, not even her latest releases, but her earlier releases, like the first book series she ever wrote or whatever, those just got traditionally published, I think. So like they're all like, they all have sprayed edges and all that. I was like looking at them, but I was like, I don't like Anna Huang's books that much where I like could justify spending money on all of her books and all that. But it is getting super hot in here, so I'm gonna start my car. I'm gonna go home, gonna get some work done, and then I'm going to start reading. I think the first book I'm going to be reading is just Not in Love by Ellie Hazelwood. Many of my friends have already read this book, and I just feel like I'm behind. I wanted to read this since it came out, but hence the book buying ban, I couldn't. So I think I'm going to read this one first and see how I like it. I didn't even read the back of this. I just know I eat up everything Ellie Hazelwood like writes. Not that I've read all her books, but most of her latest releases I've read and I've really enjoyed. I know this one is more smutty, more erotic and all of that. And my friends who have enjoyed this, most of us have the same taste in books. So I think I'll enjoy this, but again, I don't know. I've heard mixed reviews on this book. I'm going to get started on this book and see how I enjoy it. One thing I've been obsessed with is just like homemade bookmarks and all that from my friends, or like using the photo booth pics and all of that as bookmarks. This is a bookmark my friend Hargun made of us, and it has Marwith Reads, my channel name, and all of that on it. And so if you're watching this, Goonie, love you. Love you, boo. I've made it to about halfway through Not in Love, and I literally had to stop because I, for one, am sort of obsessed with this book. I mean, it's just been a really like easy read, which I feel like most Ellie Hazelwood books are. Like, pretty much it's about these two characters named Rue and Eli, and pretty much they end up meeting each other through like this dating app, and pretty much they meet one night as sort of hookups to each other, but then it just doesn't end up going through. And then the next day, they end up meeting each other at work because Rue, she works at this like science tech company called Klein. Rue's some type of engineer who works on things like food related or something, and she's like best friends sort of with the CEO and founder of this company. However, this company is about to be bought out by this private equity firm called Harkness, and it turns out that Eli is one of the people that works for the company who's trying to buy out Rue's company and all that. So like there's this workplace sort of drama. They're trying to figure out should they or should they not hook up with each other. I've just been reading this book and I'm eating up every single thing that is in this book. Is it smutty? Oh, absolutely. For me, it's pretty tame so far, but then again, I haven't read the second half, so it probably shows up in the later half of this book. I think I'm going to start reading another book that I bought today. I think the next book I'm going to pick up is The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. This is the first book I'm reading of theirs. It looks like a fun summer read, so I'm excited to start reading this one. I've made it to chapter 7 of The Paradise Problem, and so far I've been really enjoying it. And I think, first off, I like the characters already. I like the main girl, Anna. She's so unhinged and unserious, so that's why I like her. But mostly it's due to the fact that it has my favorite trope, which is fake dating and all that. This one is pretty much about this girl named Anna. She's a recent graduate and financially she's in a lot of trouble, and then it turns out that her roommate in college, she ended up getting married to him for his family housing. They end up in this situation where she needs a cheap place to stay, he needs a fake wife in order to stay at his family's apartment for family housing, and so they pretty much get married. They both graduate, they both move out of this apartment, and they don't really need each other for this little scheme anymore. But then all of a sudden, the guy ends up coming back to talk to Anna, and he's like, yeah, I need you to attend my sister's wedding in Indonesia. I'm not explaining this well, but there's a lot of layers to this book. I'm just like eating this up right now. It's really easy to get into. I'm gonna continue reading this for the night, and it also looks like I haven't like moved out of my bedroom and all that, which I have. Don't worry guys, I've been going downstairs, I've been touching grass. Not really, it's super smoky outside where I live. I think I'm gonna read this for the rest of the night and see how far I get. I woke up early this morning. I woke up at 8, that's not early. But I tried waking up early this morning just to read my books. Did not end up happening. I've been sitting at my computer from 9 to it is 5:40 now. So I've been sitting in front of my computer all day. I think I'm gonna get started on reading my books. I'm currently in the middle of 3 books right now. I didn't record myself filming or anything. I'm reading A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy Eilen, and honestly, the reason why I haven't been recording myself reading it is just because I've been genuinely bored reading this book. I mean, I got halfway through, but I don't know. It's just not giving for me. Since I got halfway, I don't want to DNF it, but I also don't want to complete it. So I'm in that area. So it's sort of like I've just been reading it out of spite. I've just been reading it for the sake of just reading another book, but not necessarily enjoying it. I think I'm going to start reading Not in Love for a bit, see how far I get. Last night I finished Not in Love by Ellie Hazelwood, so I thought I would just do my quick little review here. Overall, I personally really enjoyed this book. I think I rated it about a 4.5 stars, and I don't know what it was about this. I think it's just because this one just moves super fast. I can see why there are mixed reviews of it. It's sort of like if you are looking for more of a plot driven, slow burn type of romance, you're not going to get it from this book. This one is very much insta love, like instant love, a lot of adult content, and it's just the plot kind of takes a back seat in a way. Most of her books take place in the academic STEM sort of world and all that, so obviously there's like office politics and all of that happening in this book when it comes to just like how the way like especially like how patents work and all that, and sort of who has ownership of these patents. I kind of wish we got more of the office politics. Like, honestly, I was eating up the office drama. I wish she explored that a bit more. Those are my thoughts on Not in Love by Ellie Hazelwood. For the rest of the night, I think I'm going to try and finish The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. I read some of it today. I took my mom to a doctor's appointment, and that appointment was almost like 2 hours. I'm like, I've a little bit left. Okay, I just finished The Paradise Problem, and this is my 5-star read. This is my 5-star read of the summer. I feel like when it comes to 5-star reads, for me, it's mostly based off a vibe. Like, am I going to be thinking about this book all the time? Absolutely. It generally is like the perfect romantic comedy. Is it cheesy? Absolutely. Is there a lot of millennial humor? You bet. I ate it up and I enjoyed every single minute of it. And that's all sometimes you need from a book. There were so many tropes that I liked in here. This was my perfect book. So it's like, if you like marriage of convenience, fake dating, rich people problems, like, you would definitely enjoy this book. I feel like if I read this book any other time other than now, I probably wouldn't have the same like reaction to it. I think this is just like a perfect summer book. It's not realistic in any sense of the word, but it just like, it's so fun that you can sort of look past that and you can, suspend disbelief. So this is a book I would highly recommend. And also, who was going to tell me that Christina Lauren, who was going to tell me that their armies, like, I was shook when I got to the acknowledgement section and I saw Kim Namjoon, Kim Sok Jin, Min Yoon Gi, Jung Ho Suk, Park Jimin, Kim Tae Young, Jung Jungkook, BTS. Like, what? Like, who was going to tell me that they are armies? Like, that is an automatic buy for me. Like, if you're an army, if you are a BTS army, I will support you. Who have you been looking at? Like, this whole video. That's my thoughts on The Paradise Problem. Loved it. 5 stars. You go, girls. Like, I will be picking up another Christina Lauren book. Sorry if the audio is now weird because I'm not using my mic, but since I'm off my book buying ban, I bought a ton of books on Amazon. Okay, I didn't buy a ton. I bought 4. 3 of them just came in. I know for sure for most of them I'm not going to be reading in this video, but the one I might get started on is None Shall Sleep. This one I believe is about these 2 like serial K-worder survivors, and they're recruited by the FBI. One thing about me right now is that I have been on a Criminal Minds fix for the past couple weeks. For the first time ever, like 3 weeks ago, I decided to sit down and watch Criminal Minds. And so I am now obsessed with FBI agents, serial K-worders, and all that. I've read The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. That is one of my favorite series of all time. I believe this is going to be a series, so yeah. The other 2 books that I have is, the first one is Not If I Save You by Allie Carter, and then the next one is Little White Lies by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. That's the little unboxing of books I have. I feel like I just need to change up the genre a bit. The last 2 books I was reading were romance books, and so I kind of want to read a more crime, mystery, thriller type of book. So I think this is what I'm going to read. I got about 100 pages in, so this far, the writing is fairly straightforward and easy, and this book just picks up the pace like immediately. It's about these two teenagers who are recruited by the FBI, the behavioral analysis sector unit of the FBI, to help them with pretty much cold cases and all of that, and pretty much how teenage serial killers think. The two teenagers that they recruited, one of them was a victim of a serial killer and she's a survivor of one. Meanwhile, the other one, his dad ended up getting killed by a serial killer. So that's sort of the connection as to why the FBI wants these two teenagers to help them with their cases because of the way they think. And it is, in a way, it's similar to The Naturals by Lynn Barnes, but also very different. The Naturals is like one of my favorite book series, so I will always speak highly of that book series no matter what I do. I love The Naturals so much. Take a shot every time I mention how much I love The Naturals. Then She'll Sleep. It's really good. There are a lot of interesting characters, but I think because I've watched Criminal Minds and I like watched Criminal Minds recently, every time character, especially like the FBI agents, when they come onto the scene, I'm just thinking about the Criminal Minds characters. I keep comparing the characters to the Criminal Minds characters, which I need to stop doing. I pretty much spent most of the night reading None Shall Sleep, and I got to page 300, so I'm almost done. So let's try to finish this up. I finished None Shall Sleep, and I don't know. I'm like, my thoughts are kind of all over the place when it came to this book, especially towards the end of it. I really liked it. It's just, there are just some things about this book that I think could have been done better. Like, they revealed the unsub really early on in the book. I don't like it when that happens. I like knowing who it is at the end when, everything sort of the drama is heightened, it's very climactic and all that. Where it's like for this one, I just felt like the reveal of the unsub was very anticlimactic. And I'm not saying that like the ending was boring or anything, like the ending was actually like really, high stakes and all that. It's just, I just don't understand why they revealed who the killer was like so early on in the book. I'm just being really nitpicky about it, but overall, I think I would give this about a 4.25 stars. I would say that because I just don't feel like I connected with the characters as much. I'm not going to be thinking about a lot of the characters like after reading this. I like the story and all of that, and it did give like a very much a Criminal Minds-esque like feel, which I personally enjoyed. But it's just like there are some things where I'm just like, I feel like that could have just been done in a better way. You don't get a lot of background information about the characters. You sort of get enough information that you can like kind of infer what happened to each of these characters and all that. Apparently this is a series, so there is a second book that just got released. I think I'll wait for it to come out in paperback because it's only in hardcover right now. I'm really trying not to compare this to the Natural series at all because this is so different from the Naturals. Like, even though the premise is kind of the same, I think in the Naturals, I just connected with those characters a lot more, especially my girl Leah Zhang. Like, she is the character that, like, truly spoke to me while reading it. Like, I was like, oh, she is the representation for all of the sarcastic, sassy, bitchy Asian girlies out there, and that is me. So it's like any book with Leah Zhang, I am going to eat up. Those are my thoughts on None Shall Sleep. Overall, I enjoyed it. It's just there are some nitpicky things that I just didn't enjoy it, and I think it might be the 17 seasons of Criminal Minds talking. So it's like not that I'm a expert on shows or media about serial killers and the FBI and all that. It's just I think I just have a harsher critique. I'm gonna finish ranting about this and let's move on to the other books that I'm reading. The next book I picked up was The Rom-Commers by Katherine. And I got through the first 100 pages of this book or so. And for me, it's like, I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about this book by the end of it. I don't know if I'm going to be rooting for the characters, like to be together by the end of it. This book is about this girl named Emma who pretty much gets this opportunity through her best friend or ex-boyfriend or whatever to write a movie with this famous Hollywood screenwriter called Charlie Yates. He's pretty much tasked to write a romantic comedy movie, but he sucks at writing one. The one he's writing isn't good, and so Emma is sort of hired to be a ghostwriter to rewrite it, and there's a miscommunication on what's happening at the beginning of the book when they first meet. They get through it, and Emma ends up staying, and she and Charlie end up making an agreement to write this movie together. Charlie is not a likable character. So I'm guessing within the next 100 pages or so, he's going to go through some character development. But for right now, he's not the most likable guy. Like, the things he says in front of Emma and says to her are like kind of offensive. He has this very much this Hollywood arrogance to him. You can tell he has this arrogance because he has a lot of problems in his real life that he doesn't want to acknowledge or face. He's not doing it for me, and I'm just like, am I supposed to be rooting for them to be together by the end of it, or what? Those are sort of my thoughts on the rom-commers by Katherine right now. So I just finished reading The Rom-Commers by Katherine, and I thought I would just quickly do my review of it now that it's like sort of fresh in my brain. But overall, I really liked it. I mean, there were some moments in it, especially towards the ending, where I was like, okay, like the ending has to make up for it, otherwise this might not be good for me. But I really like the ending of it. I like the concept and all of that. I do think she spent a bit too much time like with the slow burn of it all. I wasn't expecting it to be such a slow burn. And for me, my least favorite trope is a slow burn. So for me, I was struggling. I was truly struggling by the time I got to page 300. I was sort of like, this ending better be worth it. And so I read the ending. I really enjoyed the ending. I feel like there were a lot of moments that it's like I truly felt could have been just like omitted. The ending really did save this book for me. I just didn't find the male lead as as convincing. There was just wasn't a lot to him that was like likable for a lot of the book. And then toward the end you start to understand why he's not a likable character and why he makes himself to be unlikable. I was sort of just like not really convinced of the romance until the very end. I feel like for me to like a slow burn, it has to be done really well. And for me, it kind of just wasn't working for me. But overall, I still like this book. I think I would give it a 4.5, 4.25, debating between what to give it. I mean, overall, that's still a pretty like high rating for a romance book. So yeah, I think here is also where I'll be ending this video. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, like, subscribe, comment, I guess, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.